Hi everyone, welcome to this video. My name is T. If you're new here, I really do hope everyone's day is going well. It's the new year, right? And I know we're supposed to be like, new year, positive vibes only. I'll be applying that concept to the year, like in general, but today specifically, I choose violence. I'm just kidding. Today I'm not actually choosing violence, but I know that's an inevitable outcome because I'm gonna ruffle some feathers today. I just feel it coming. Black women, we just can't seem to catch a break. Just as people have made careers and personality traits out of looking like us, talking like us, making fun of us, there is now a phenomenon on social media of non-Black men whose career and brand is the fetishization and performative admiration of Black women, and they're getting a proper come up out of that. Now, truthfully, this has always been bothersome, but never really enough for me to sit down and make a whole video about. To me, it was just another microaggression, you know what I mean? But recently, I'm seeing, on top of this utter fuckery, Black women are also being gaslighted when we try to speak out and criticize it. Not on my watch.
Somebody been smoking and drinking. Somebody been smoking and drinking. Somebody been smoking and drinking.
So yeah, now we gotta take it there. Today's the day. I think white men are fantastic. Why am I dragging it? You see how I be overcompensating just because I know people love to twist my words? All right, to put it plainly and honestly, I have been attracted to many white men in my life. Yeah, many a Jakes, many a Connors. Love me a good dumper truck Dylan.
Don't fuck me like that, fuck me like this, yeah. His friends and his dad hate me. I broke his little heart, he a crybaby.
You know what I mean? I can be attracted to non-Black men and even express it on occasion and then go about my day, because I gain nothing from constantly telling the world that I'm willing to date outside of my race. But why do some non-Black men feel the need to go out of their way to tell the whole wide world that they're willing to date Black women and then go on to expect rewards for it? Because the stakes are different when society has historically gone well out of its way to try and strip a group of its desirability. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the non-Black men who love us for a come up.
I like dark skins. Love a melanin, talk, question nigga talk. When I'm stepping in, your hoe will get slayed. What's up, Mbowe round? You chocolate just how I like it, promise I won't bite it. Sometimes I swear it was enough for mine on high.
Now, from the outside looking in, you may say, what's the big deal? These are just men who are showing love to a disenfranchised group, giving Black women the love and admiration that you yourself, me, have said that y'all don't get enough of. Shouldn't you just be grateful? No, this is not genuine appreciation. It's a performance, and it's f***ing weird. And the fact that many of these men feel the need to dress urban in these videos and use AAVE and have rap music played in the background.
I need a bad bitch. What kind of bad bitch? Right now. What kind of bad bitch? A melanin queen. Hey.
Is pandering. Genuine appreciation would be the occasional compliment without having to compare us to food. Genuine appreciation would be admiration without having to put down other races of women or make it a point that you're choosing us over or in spite of someone else. Who told y'all that was effective? Okay, genuine appreciation would be celebration without having to make it a point that even though society at large thinks Black women are ugly and disgusting, you would still f*** us. So I actually had to take the sound out of the first half of this clip so I didn't get a copyright strike, so I'll just reenact it for you. Random people, do you like Black girls, bro? Yeah, why? Because Black girls aren't attractive. You need to find a nice white girl. And then he says, am I wrong? You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? I gotta shout out Is for Hersey, whose video helped me verbalize what I'm about to say so much better.
One thing white men know how to do well is feed into the insecurities of women of color. Women of color are told from literally birth that they're like undesirable, that nobody wants them. They're told this shit like by so many people, even men of their own race. And every single fucking time, white men are like, okay, we see these women are struggling with their own sense of self just based on their ethnicity, so let me just feed into it. Let me tell them that I find them desirable, like we're a fucking prop. Like we're something that you can fetishize. And what's so disheartening is you see women of color in the comments like eating this shit up, and I honestly do not blame them. Like when you are gaslit your entire life, told that you're fucking ugly, and then you see a white boy who calls himself a golden retriever being like, I find you attractive, you're gonna feed into it.
Ugh, queen. Let's start with her point of white men know how to play into the insecurities of women of color. Yes. But to take it a step further, I would even say this particular act of performative admiration is especially twisted because they are exploiting and capitalizing off of the insecurities of Black women, insecurities that they, or at least their group, created. The hierarchy of beauty, which is governed by the white male gaze, adheres mainly to a white standard. And side note, if you want to dive deeper into that topic, Khadija and Mbowe did an amazing video called Beauty is in the Eye of the Colonizer. Come on, go check it out. But I would advise everyone just take a deep breath before they click on her video because she's literally breathtakingly beautiful. But yeah, the hierarchy of beauty adheres mainly to a white standard. Thus, in the context of beauty and femininity, Black women are the most disregarded, even by our own Black men. Now, many of us do eventually make it to the other side of rejecting that standard and purging the internalized misogynoir. And before you know it, it's Black girl magic this, my Black is beautiful that, I'm a queen without a crown. You see how we be acting. But that shit takes years. It takes a long time. And before we make it to that point, Black women, can we just keep it a buck about the desperation that many of us had to overcome? For me, it happened around like age 14. Society and the media had done such a fabulous job of convincing me that I was ugly and undesirable. And I was getting to that age where I just wanted to feel something, you know? I just wanted a little TLC just like everybody else in the 9th grade. And I wanted to feel so beautiful, so bad. I was willing to accept disingenuous and sometimes fetishized attention rather than the absence of attention altogether. You see that little window of despair? That's what's being exploited. And I use the word exploited because these men are getting clout and followers, which will eventually manifest into currency. But it doesn't look like exploitation, and that's the tricky part. That's why somebody is probably in my comments right now telling me to shut up and stop complaining, because this attention that they're giving us, it presents itself as a privilege, a favor of which we should be grateful. These men are parading their love for Black women as some sort of badge of honor, championing themselves as the bravehearts who are willing to desire the least desirable and making money off of it. And you know how I know this is a money game? Because right now, possibly for the first time, at least at this level, Black women are it. We are the moment. And that's across all spaces, not just in music and fashion, but in politics, in education, on YouTube. But where was this energy 5 years ago when we were just as beautiful, but the beauty hierarchy disagreed? Where was this energy 7 years ago, 10 years ago, when we were just as beautiful, we just weren't the moment, and you weren't promised clout and popularity for joining in on that moment? There is only a market for this shit because there's a demand. So some form of responsibility has to be taken here. Black women, I wish we would stop putting these men on pedestals for simply not hating us. Case in point, this whole Christopher Jamal Evans thing. Now, I love Captain America just as much as the next gal. He's a very handsome man. But I do not see Nan, Jamal, Jermaine, or Jacquees in that man. But what's the hype? Why did we make him an honorary Negro? Why can't I go 2 hours without seeing some Black woman on my timeline absolutely losing her shit over that man? Apparently, a couple years ago, sorry, my fake nose ring about to fall out. Apparently, a couple years ago, he did an interview and the interviewer was a Black woman and he was like giving her the eyes or something like that. I don't know, I wasn't there. He escorted Regina King up the steps at the Oscars, very chivalrous. Actually, let's run the clip. I actually thought it was very cute.
This is the first Oscar and nomination for Regina King.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Very kind young man with a gentleman. He's been spotted out with a couple Black women here and there. He's had a buzz cut in the past, and he's tweeted a couple times in support of BLM. And for these reasons, he is apparently our new undisputed Black king.
Oop. So what I'm hearing is that I'm not Caucasian. Okay.
Do you see how the bar is on the floor? Do you see how it's like descending into the basement? Standards are so low. This is part of the reason why those guys keep making those pandering ass videos, because they see how black women on social media respond to non-black men who give us, or who give even just one of us, a crumb of attention. They see how some of y'all view that as a win, and it's fucking weird. Nobody else does that. Black women are beautiful. That is a fact, and a fact remains constant no matter who believes it. And while appreciation is nice, first of all, there's a difference between praise and pity. But if it is genuine appreciation, I thank you, but I'm not indebted to you. I'm not gonna pop this little pussy for you just because you said I'm cute. This I already knew. Now, even outside of social media, some non-black men, after showing interest in us, expect us to reward them sexually, because that, for some reason, is the only, I'll get to the reason, that is the only lens they're able to see us through. Fetishization. A fetish is defined as a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, part of the body, etc. Okay, hot take. I do not think fetishes are inherently bad. The basic concept of a fetish, I'm fine with it. Like, I really don't think it's really that big of a deal so long as it's being done between gleefully consenting adults of sound body and mind. There's no problem with that. And there's also no problem as long as we are talking about objects and activities, not a whole ass group of people. When you view black women, human beings, also as your dirty little secret, also as your cheeky little hobby, or like we just talked about, your claim to fame, that's an issue. If loving and admiring black women is not a part of you, both behind closed doors and in front of them, that's an issue. Furthermore, this expectation of black women to always be overtly sexual on your command.
Why nobody called the cops?
Cat Blaque, who I love so much, did a video recently on race play. Now, Kat's perspective is one I really value, especially when it comes to this topic, because she has always been very vocal about having white male sexual partners. In this race play video, she said something that was so good and it stuck with me so much. I don't even want to paraphrase it, I just want to play it for y'all.
I've always resented, I really do hate that there are so many people who look at me and see tall, confident black girl, she must want to tie me up and call me a little white bitch. No. And I spend so much time pushing those people away, so much time shutting those people down. It is very frustrating. And it's frustrating again because these people are taking their racial fetish and they're completely ignoring me as an individual and just trying to project their racial fetishism onto me. And that's not fucking okay. Even if we weren't talking about race play, that's not okay.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, I don't want to kink shame, you know, because like Kat mentioned in her video, some black people do consent to and enjoy race play, and that's your business. But to automatically expect that from me just because I'm black, it's just yet another way to divorce black women's physical bodies from our humanity and reduce us to vehicles of pleasure. And if not of pleasure, then vehicles to produce like accolades, like bragging rights, to say that you dipped in the chocolate. I fucking hate when y'all say that. Or to produce mixed children. Not even gonna go there today. Some of y'all already think I hate light-skinned people, and I don't know who the fuck told you that, but links are in the description if you want to go check out some other people who've already covered this topic. Shucks, I know, did a really great video on this too. Moving on. Thank you all so much for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end of the video. I also want to say thank you to Queen Kat for letting me use her video in my video. Love you, babe. Let me tell y'all, this video gave me so much trouble in the beginning. I think it was because I took such a long break. It was only like 2 or 3 weeks, but it felt like forever, and I damn near forgot how to do my job. But I made it, and I'm making a couple others too, which I cannot wait for y'all to see it, but it's a surprise, so. Be sure to leave your thoughts and your comments down below. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, however you're feeling today, and I'll catch you in the next probably gay ass video. Bye.